Natasui Sherenté Harris. Hello everyone, my name is Sherenté, and I'm honored to be here with you this evening for the 4th annual Chair Ho Better Health Forum, representing my tribal community on this, our Narragansett Tribe's federal recognition holiday. As an Indigenous youth, health and wellness is important to me, not only for myself, but for the future generations of my tribal community. I've been chosen to walk the red road of sobriety, honoring the traditional life ways of my people and respecting my body as sacred through living a sober life. I've been fortunate to be raised in a family where both of my parents have also made the decision to walk the red road. However, for many of my family and greater community, this path is less traveled, and with years of oppression and intergenerational trauma, substance abuse is often the easiest choice, creating a cycle of dependency and abuse. In a recent government study, 56.2% of American Indian 8th graders and 61.4% of 10th graders had used marijuana, compared to 16.4% of the 8th graders and 33.4% of the 10th graders nationally in the 2009 to 2012 study. American Indian students' annual heroin and OxyContin use was about 2 to 3 times higher than the national averages in those years. Through an Aspen Institute study, the reported rate of binge alcohol use over a 1-month window was higher among American Indian students than the national average, 30.6% versus 24.5%, and only 1 in 8, 12.6% of American Indians in need of alcohol or illicit drug use treatment in the past year received treatment at a specialty facility. Most troubling of all of this statistical data is that our Indigenous youth are dropping out of school at staggering rates, double that of the national average, according to the Journal of American Indian Education, and at a rate of over 50% in states with the highest American Indian populations. Living in homes of addiction, cycles continue. Without education to hope for, our future is thwarted, oftentimes leading to the unthinkable. For my people, suicide is the second leading cause of death for American Indian youth, 2.5 times the national rate for youth aged 15 to 24. Through my work as a youth community leader and cultural activist, I have become a Narragansett Indian Youth Ambassador, and as a 15-year-old sophomore student at the East Bay Met High School in Newport, I've been doing project work and circling my schoolwork around my Indigenous culture. It has become of the utmost importance that I conduct research to achieve an awareness of my people's struggle. These projects are based around revitalizing aspects of my culture that are being lost after a history of oppression. As an Indigenous youth, my cultural identity is a core aspect in leading a healthy life, physically, emotionally, and mentally. In my freshman year, I created a Facebook page entitled Speaking Our Narragansett Language, in which I translate words in our language and record videos teaching the words in different ways, providing a way for tribal members to access a tool to learn the language from the privacy of their phone or computer. Language truly is at the core of culture. I also created a Facebook group called Narragansett Tribe Let's Move, inspired from Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign. The page focused on using our traditional sport of running, which is very spiritually important to our people, as a way of fighting back against community health threats like diabetes to live a healthy lifestyle. Tribal members were given a space to share successes with one another and unite in achieving their goals. That year, President Barack Obama started the Gen I, Generation Indigenous Initiative, in which Native youth were asked to create meaningful, lasting change in their communities. I submitted my work and was honored to have received an invitation to the White House's historic first ever National Tribal Youth Gathering, meaning that my work is recognized as exemplary. I was able to travel to Washington, D.C. with Naya and meet the First Lady, Michelle Obama. These two projects were important first steps for me, as the historical impact behind those two issues is prevalent in our daily struggles as Narragansett people. From our language being made illegal, to high sugar commodity food services, to even boarding schools where Indigenous children were stripped from their families, being abused and forced out of their culture, that continued on until 1970. After enduring this oppression, the only way our culture can be revitalized is by evolving it into our modern world. It is my hope that through the continuation of my traditional ways, the revitalization of our language, and an inclusion in our ceremonies, our Indigenous youth will find their way to the red road of sobriety. It is my belief that our youth must have the support of their community to break the cycle of addiction, and that this will happen through one song, one prayer, and one ceremony at a time. Katapatash. Thank you.